All right, this is Applegarth, and we're going over workshop 14. Sorry, workshop 13. We're looking at fraction to decimal, decimal to percent, and everything that goes with it. So super fun. Fraction as a decimal, any fraction can be renamed as a decimal, and any decimal can be renamed as a fraction. They are really closely related, and we go back and forth between the two pretty regularly in the real world, so it's really important that you guys know how to do that as we move on. To rename a fraction as a decimal, use division. This little fraction symbol, the over symbol, means divide by. So think of the fraction bar and the fraction as meaning divide by. For example, 5/8 means 5 divided by 8. After the 5, you'll write a decimal point and as many zeros as are needed. Then divide by 8. If a fraction does not divide out evenly, divide to one more decimal place than you are rounding to. Okay, so let's look at a couple of examples. Change 5/6 to a decimal rounded to the nearest thousandth. Divide to the 10,000th place. So we are going to just go ahead and use our buddy calculator. We're going to go 5, the guy on the top, divided by 6. And it is, we're going to round to the nearest thousandth. So it's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So the number to the right of the thousandth is 4 or less, so that 3 is going to stay a 3. Okay. I don't care if you use a calculator on these. Go ahead. You don't have to do it by hand. And in fact, to make your life easier, just do it with a calculator. Complete the problems. Check your answers in the back of the book. Change the fractions to decimals. Round to the nearest thousandth. Divide to the 10,000th place. Okay, so we're going to go 3 over 7. I know it's not fair that I can copy and paste this right on here. Huh? If you guys want to use this method, you can. So we're looking at the thousandths place. So the number to the right of it is 5 or more. So this 8 will become a 9, and everything else goes away. Boom. 7 divided by 8 is 0.0875. That one terminates in the thousandths place, so he gets to stay. Okay, so now we're going to go from a decimal to a fraction, and it's not as hard as you think it's going to be. So to rename a decimal as a fraction, name the place value of the digit at the far right. This is the denominator or the bottom of your fraction. Note that the number of zeros in the denominator is the same as the number of places to the right of the decimal point. The fraction should always be written in lowest terms. So let's look at 0.79 or 79 hundredths. So we look, it's at tenths, hundredths. So we're going to put 100 on the bottom and all the other numbers on the top. So we look here at B. This is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So we put 1,000 on the bottom and then all the numbers on the top. All right, last but not least in our examples, 4 and 625 thousandths. So we put 1,000 on the bottom and we put 4,625 on the top. 1,000 goes into 4,625 4 times with and reduces back down. I'm trying to think if I can find a good fraction calculator. So let me just break it down like this. So we know that this, so we can take the 4 out and just go 625. I want to write that down. So the way I like to do this, and this is the way I'm going to demonstrate for y'all today. So I'm going to take the 4 out because we know it's going to be a whole number. And then I'm going to go 625 over 1,000. That way, because if they want us to reduce it down to this low, then that's fine. Okay, so we are going to, you guys, I love online learning, so we're going to go ahead and use this to our benefit. Let me show you how easy it is to search fraction, and we want to get it in lowest terms. There's a calculator. That will go ahead and calculate it for you. I know, crazy, right? Okay, so we want 625 1,000s. What? So that's 5/8. And if you look, it says 7/8. So let's try this. 4,625 divided by 1,000. This will be fun. Oh, look at this. We found a little incorrection. This is exciting. So this is supposed to be 5. That is very exciting. When the book is wrong. Okay, so it's going to be 4 5/8. Good thing we checked on that, huh? All right, so we are going to complete the problems. We're going to check our answers in the back of the book and change our decimals to fractions. We're also going to reduce to the lowest terms. If you're not super good at that, that's completely fine. We have the calculator to help us out with that. So this is 0.4 or 4/10. So we're going to go 4/10. And if you check back to this reduce to lowest form, 4/10 is 2/5. So then we just write that. Boop. So it is for real. Two-fifths. All right, this is 7 82 hundredths. So we're going to go 782 over 100. I'm going to get my lowest terms calculator. When I found the online calculators, my life became just amazing. 7 41 over 50. 7 41 over 50. 7. Let's move 7 out from there because he should push over in the front. Okay. It doesn't want me to do it. Okay. So I'm going to put 7 out front. Boop, boop. 7 41 50ths. Okay, we're going to do some practice problems. Oh, even better. We're going to write a percent as a decimal. Yay. So percents are always in the hundredths. Hundred. Percent is abbreviation of the Latin words per centum, meaning by the hundred. So percent means divide by 100. A percent can be written as a decimal. To change a percent to a decimal, first write the percent as a fraction, kind of like here, with a denominator of 100, then divide by 100. When dividing by 100, you can just move the decimal places 2 places to the left. Boop, boop. So when you write the percent as a decimal, you are moving the decimal 2 places to the left and dropping the percent sign. If necessary, use 0 as a placeholder. So if we're moving 2 places to the left and we run out of numbers, we put a 0 in where we're out of numbers. Okay, so 42% is 42 divided by 100. Now, we can simply move the decimal boop, boop, 2 places to the left and see that it's 0.42. Or if you want to calculator it out, you can go 42 divided by 100. Oh, 42 divided by 100. 0.42. Okay. 19.4%, we're going to move the decimal 2 places to the left. So it's going to be 0.194, or 19.4 over 100. If you feel calculator connected, 0.194. And remember, if there is no number to the left of the decimal point, we do put in 0 as that placeholder. Okay, here's your concept check. 37.5%. We're going to move that decimal place over 2 spots, so it's 0.375. And here's an instance where we're going to need the placeholder, and I'll show you on the calculator. I ran out of numbers after that 9, so I got to put a 0 in there. If you check your calculator, and this is where my poor students get easy problems wrong, so it's 0.09. When you have single-digit percents, if you put 0.9, you're getting 90% instead of 9%. So you got to make sure you put that 0 placeholder in. Okay, now we're going to go taking a decimal and making it a percent. So we're going to move the decimal place 2 places to the right and add a percentage sign. So if I have 0.42 and I want to write it as a percent, I'm going to move 2 places to the right and make it 42 and throw on the percent. If I have 0.005, so like in B, I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. I have 0.5%. The other item you can do is multiply by the number by 100 and drop the percent. So if you're having trouble with like the moving, your eyes can't track it, you can just times it by 100 and then throw a percent sign on it. So 0.85, I'll show you guys that process with the calculator. So if you go 0.85, you can times it by 100. So it's 85 and then throw a percentage on it. 0.07, you can either move the decimal 2 places to the right and throw a percentage on it, or you can times 0.07 by 100, showing you both ways. And both ways give you 7%. 0.3, move it 2 places to the right. When you run out of numbers, you put a 0 in it, so this is 30%. 1.55, we move 2 places to the right. It's 155%. It's the easy way to do it. Okay, you guys are going to chug through this practice. It should go super quick. You can check your answers on Thursday afternoon. The answers will be posted, and that's the end of our lesson today. Our password is %. You can either spell it out or you can write it out. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day.